All right, welcome to week 5. Congratulations on all of your progress in the course. Most of you look like you are on track to do a very nice job, so I'm excited for that. Um, let's talk about what we need to do this week. Well, every week you've got a discussion. So this week is your final discussion, and in this week, we're really kind of bringing things together. So we have learned so far in the course about geologic resources, both mineral resources that we can mine, water resources that we use on the surface or mine from depth, and also fossil fuel resources that we can mine and use. So we've learned about the resources that we get from the earth. We've also learned about the impacts that our actions have on our environment. And so this week, we're really bringing it all together by looking kind of at the combination of those things. So, climate change really is our impact on the environment, especially because of our use of fossil fuels. So, we're looking now at how we can deal with these impacts. And so, for your discussion board, first you're going to read chapter 1.3 and 1.4 about population growth. And then chapter 10, which is about climate change. This is a very complicated issue with a lot of important pieces of information. Chapter 10 does a good job of synthesizing it, that by burning fossil fuels and by some of our other actions, we release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These greenhouse gases absorb infrared radiation, which we commonly call heat. So it absorbs the infrared radiation and then re-emits it. And the effect of that is that we can raise the temperature of our lower atmosphere, effectively raising the temperature of our atmosphere that we live in. So when that happens, there are lots of consequences. As you raise the temperature, you, of course, would melt ice. If that ice is on the continents, then the water would run downhill and it would run to the oceans. The oceans would rise, but they also would rise because when you heat water, that water expands. You've got thermal expansion happening. So, because of the addition of the water that was as glaciers on the continents, and the heating of the ocean water, it rises. Those cause sea level rise, and that is one of the most direct, most obvious impacts of climate change because so many of our populations, including me, live in coastal areas. This is a big issue. And so I want us to take a look at two of those communities. One is in Miami, Florida, and the United States, and the other one is in Bangladesh. And so there are short videos of each of those communities and what they are doing to deal with the rising sea levels that are the result of climate change. So as you watch this, you're going to think about what an individual in that community might do and deal with, what the larger community in the area might do and deal with, and then what we as a global community may be expected to do and deal with in order to help us deal with these changes. So that's what your discussion board is. And then for your responses, read the prompt carefully again. You guys are doing a good job of that. And respond to your peers. Okay, the other thing this week is your final project. So you should take a look at the template. It's attached to last week's announcement. I'm attaching it again to this week's announcement. And you can use that template directly, or you can make one of your own. That's fine with me as well. But make sure that you read the final assignment carefully and include all of the parts, okay? So you're going to start out by characterizing your area. In this area characterization, you'll go back to describing your geologic dangers for your area and make sure you've got that part in. Remember, you did that as part of a discussion board. And then you're going to put each of your fact sheets in. I don't care how you put them in as long as I can see them. So you can, within the Word document, you can insert them as a picture and then put it in as JPEG. That may be the easiest thing to do. But make sure that those get in there. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Then you're going to put your environmental, your field logs that you've done on weeks 2, 3, and 4 that I will have graded, and you have your revisions. You're going to put those in. And then you're going to do a synthesis of your area. Okay, so what I mean by this portion is look at the characteristics of your area and then look at the issues that you found. Is there any relationship? For example, if you live in a coastal area and you are talking about beach erosion or harmful algal blooms, then these issues are more likely to happen in your area because you live in a coastal area. If you live in an area with high tectonic activity and you write about dangers due to earthquakes that have happened or building structures that had to be replaced because of tectonic damage, then that's the relationship that you've got there. It may be that you don't find a clear relationship to your characteristics of your area. It may be that your characteristics tie more closely to the fact that you live in a highly populated area or that there was mining that used to happen in your area. That's fine. If you can't find any relationship at all, just email me. Really, I just want you to reflect on what's going on in your area. You don't have to find some big, perfect picture synthesis of it. I just want you to say, what do I see going on around me? How does that relate to the natural environment? And so if that is confusing, just email me. I'm happy to help you on that. Finally, for your final project, you're going to look at one of the other areas in the country, okay? Or in the world, that's fine too. And I want you to compare it to your own. So you've got classmates that live in areas other than you. What I would recommend is to go back to the discussion boards or the fact sheet discussion board posts to learn about their area, and then go and take a look at some of the resources that they used and submitted and go back to those resources. This does not have to be a huge, long section, but it does need to address the questions that are in your assignment write-up. Okay? So if you have any questions about it, email me. And for those of you that have gotten A's on your fact sheets and on your field logs, you can really just put them in just as they are. If you've gotten a B or below, I would recommend making some changes to see if you can get an A on this project. And when you do, I would like for each of you to, in the comment section, okay, so submit your assignment, your final project, and when you do, in the comment box, if you will copy and paste what I have written in this assignment, which is fact sheet 1, fact sheet 2, fact sheet 3, fact sheet 4, field issue 1, field issue 2, and field issue 3. And for each of those things, let me know if you made revisions or if you didn't. If you didn't make any revisions, you'll get the same grade as what you originally submitted. If you did make revisions, then I will read through it carefully and regrade it for the inclusion of those points in your final project. Okay, so you will not make lower than what you made on your original submission, but if you revise it and you let me know that you revised it, you have a chance to make higher of those points on your final project. Okay. So your discussion board this week and then your final project. And for those of you that have kept up, and there's quite a few of you that have, then this shouldn't be that difficult. And I really look forward to seeing what you put together. As always, if you have any questions, just email me. I'm always happy to help. And I look forward to reading your work. All right, take care.